I wrote this book last year during the election because things were pretty, slow. And I figured it was a good time to write a book. No, the truth is that I was in Washington, D.C. last spring. I think it was around March of 2008. And I had been invited to a conference in Washington, D.C. called Take Back America. Have any of you ever heard of that conference? Mm-hmm. It's a great, big, progressive conference. They actually changed the name. This year, they started calling it the America's Future Now Conference, because apparently we took back America. They forgot Arizona, but they totally took back America. So anyway, I was there last spring, and I had been invited to speak at the conference about a campaign that we had run here in Arizona in 2006. And that was the campaign that we called Arizona Together. Arizona Together was a campaign we formed in 2005 after we learned that the radical right was bringing one of their anti-same-sex marriage initiatives to our state. At that point, they'd already brought them to like 17 states around the country, and they had passed those initiatives in 17 states around the country. Now, in Arizona, they brought not just a standard same-sex marriage ban, but they brought what we call the Superdoma. So it was an initiative that would ban same-sex marriage in our state, which frankly was kind of silly because it's been illegal since 1994. There was a state statute passed in 94 saying no gay marriage. So they wanted to do an initiative to be like, we really mean it, guys. We're serious here. And so that really wasn't that big of a deal, to be honest, because it wouldn't make a difference in the everyday lives of people. It's a big deal to put something bad in the Constitution, but it wouldn't have impacted people's daily lives. But what the initiative also would do is to ban domestic partnerships, which we have throughout the state. So there are lots of cities and counties and municipalities that provide domestic partner benefits for health care for couples that are unmarried and for their kids. And there are also a number of municipalities that provide, let's do book signings here all the time. Because they have,
wow.
I think you guys would mind. Sorry.
No, we don't mind at all. Because otherwise people are just going to come up and get them on talking. Not that I mind, but I might eat them all. This is awesome. Okay, good. Back on track. I totally lost my train of thought when I saw the whipped cream. Yeah, that's right. So it was also going to take away domestic partnership rights. So we had a number of municipalities that provided domestic partner health benefits for unmarried couples, both straight and gay. And then we had a couple of municipalities that also provided same-sex and opposite-sex domestic partner recognition, so that if one partner was sick and in the hospital, the other partner could go to the hospital and be there with his or her loved one during that difficult time. Without those legal recognitions, people would not be able to visit each other in the hospital, and they would not be able to share health benefits with each other. So I felt like that was a pretty important issue to work on, because 100,000 people in the state of Arizona would lose those benefits. Some would lose both of those sets of benefits, hospital visitation rights and health care benefits. And it didn't seem fair to me that a couple of folks who had a right-wing agenda could take away health care from 100,000 people around the state. So we started working on the campaign, and at first there was like a nice big team working, and then it came time to pick a chair for the campaign, and all of a sudden I looked around and everyone had disappeared in the room. And so I was tricked into being the chair of the campaign. But we started working on the campaign, and what we did was pretty unusual. Most of the other states around the country that had been working on these initiatives were arguing with the radical right about whether or not gay people should have the right to marry. And while that's an important debate to have, it wasn't a particularly useful debate for these initiatives, because the question on the ballot wasn't, do you want gay marriage or no? The question was, we don't have it. Do you want to really say we really, really don't want it? Make sense? So it was like no or really no. It wasn't a yes or no question. So I believed that a better way to address this issue would be to talk about what really could be lost and what really would change if the initiative passed. And that is that a whole lot of people across the state would lose their health benefits and lose the ability to visit their loved one in the hospital.